Good evening and thank you for joining us for the very first edition of UBC News Tonight at 8 p.m. My name is Moureen Babirye with my colleague Mohamed Mogalu on sign language. In our first report, President Yoweri Museveni has today presided over the swearing-in of Dr. Flavian Zeija as the new Chief Justice, praising what he described as growing cooperation between the judiciary and the executive. The ceremony took place at the President's country home in Kisozi, Gomba district, where Museveni underscored the need for efficiency, integrity and stability within the justice system. President Museveni was accompanied by the First Lady, Janet Museveni. Now, during the ceremony, Dr. Flavian Zeija took the oath of office, officially assuming leadership of the judiciary. Following the oath, President Museveni, in his address, said, "Judicial convergence has played a key role in strengthening national stability and improving service delivery across the country." Take a look.
Is of value to the population. I'm glad you have also talked about the infrastructure and the environment. That's very good to have a special group, because that, to mix it up with the general judicial issues, it delays the progress of the projects, of the industries and so on. So it's good that you are talking of having a dedicated unit. And also the industrial court.
I, Dr. Flavian Zeija, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So help me God. I, Dr. Flavian Zeija, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will well and truly exercise the judicial functions entrusted to me, and will do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established, and in accordance with the laws and usage of the Republic of Uganda, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God. I accept this office with humility, gratitude, and a firm commitment to serve Uganda faithfully. Your Excellency, I want to make commitment that during my tenure as Chief Justice of the Republic of Uganda, our policy of zero tolerance to corruption shall be enforced at all levels of the judiciary. And we shall also prioritize court open days. Your Excellency, court open days, this is where we interact with the public. The people are our bosses, so we interact with them to know how we are dispensing our justice to them. And we have one national court open day in a year, but then we have quarterly. Every court must interact with the public and the district leadership so that we understand where we have problems.
I have the pleasure to congratulate my younger brother and successor, His Lordship Dr. Flavian Zeija, upon his appointment and eventual swearing in as Chief Justice of Uganda. A position of immense responsibility.
Congratulations are in order for the new Chief Justice of Uganda, Flavian Zeija. Now, in more news, Jennifer Kobutunji, the Kampala Electoral District Returning Officer, has declared Balimwezo Nsubuga as the duly elected mayor of Kampala City. Balimwezo defeated 7 other candidates, securing 141,220 votes. The new mayor has pledged to work with his former competitors, including Erias Lukwago, in steering the city forward. Our reporter Ivan Kahwa camped at the MUB's Tally Center until the final declaration and now reports.
I am at Makerere University Business School, where the tallying of votes for the 5 divisions that make up Kampala was taking place, including the hotly contested seat, the mayorship seat that attracted 8 candidates. The composition of the tally center was that every division had a tent where the tallying of votes for that specific jurisdiction was taking place. The divisions included Machinde Division, Kawempe Division, Central Division, Nakawa Division, Rubaga Division, and the mayor's tent. There is also the Kampala District Declaration Center, where the returning officer was announcing the victory of those who have won in the different posts in the election. Now there are 2,705 polling stations, and it took some time before the declaration of any results of anyone contesting in any position within Kampala. But while the tallying of the votes for the mayors was still ongoing, the returning officer Chobutunji Jennifer was declaring victory for the Lord Councillors of Machinde 2 and Machinde 3 at around 2 p.m. But some of the candidates contesting for the mayorship race were also on location.
If you are not on location, then you'll miss out to be the Lord Mayor. What I've seen here, you cannot, even now, it's very risky for you to move with your set of DR forms. It's very risky.
I, Chobutunji Jennifer, being the returning officer for Kampala District, I declare Mulewenyire Agnes.
Nobody can stop reggae. Nobody can stop reggae.
At about 11 p.m., engineer Balimwezo Nsubuga arrived at the tally center, where the results were announced, accompanied by his wife and as well the leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi. The returning officer announced Balimwezo as the mayor for Kampala City.
I declare Balimwezo to be elected candidate for Kampala elected.
I want to thank my president, His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi, who thought it wise to offer an opportunity to me to become the next Lord Mayor in my party. I equally want to appreciate all my other party leaders, beginning with the Right Honorable Senyonyi, for the great support. When others thought I wouldn't, this gentleman told me, you will do it.
Balimwezo garnered 141,220 votes, followed by the NRM candidate, that is Chizito Moses Nsubuga, who garnered 43,615 votes, and then Erias Lukwago, the former Lord Mayor, who managed to get 41,915. After being declared victorious, Balimwezo addressed the media and he said that he will work with Erias Lukwago and continue from where he ended, and he also commended the works that Erias Lukwago did while he was still in office.
Give me that support. I will always consult you because you have the experience. I want to tap from your rich experience. May God bless you.
We are in pain, not just as a party, but as a nation. The nation is in pain. Why? Because the will of the people has not been given its due regard as should have been. And that's a precarious place for us to be at as a country, where people do not think that their vote counts. And that's why the voter turnout was very low. Because people think my vote does not count.
Still Still, congratulations. Now, in more news, the NRM patriotic candidates in Buganda region have congratulated President Yoweri Museveni and the party flag bearers for the victory in the just concluded general elections. The NRM patriots, however, requested to meet the president as they promised to continue working with the party leadership to protect the gains.
Oi. Kasoro oi. Keke oi. Uganda Museveni oi.
These are some of the NRM party members who lost the party primaries and were advised by the president to step aside in support of the flag bearers.
Uganda from 7, we have come here to congratulate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for having won highly in Buganda region. I go ahead, I congratulate all flag bearers of Buganda region. I pray to go down and perform so that NRM can be heard, can be felt, can be loved more.
These NRM members under the NRM patriotic candidates in Buganda region congratulated President Museveni and the flag bearers for winning the election. They also request for a meeting with President Museveni as promised. An appeal was also sent to those who won the election to serve the country diligently by implementing the party manifesto.
We shall actually look into the matters of deployments, redeployments, and some other stuffs, especially on this group of the NRM patriotic candidates. Honestly, we did everything well, and we won massively as NRM in Buganda region. So this is the time I just wanted to send my voice to His Excellency that we have done it successfully, and now we are here. We are actually requesting you to come and meet you once again for the same cause.
During the event, the chairman NRM patriotic candidates in Buganda region, Dr. Hilary Chitandikwa, said the president advised them to form a circle in order to improve their household incomes.
I take this opportunity to remind His Excellency the President about the pledge he made to us when we were stepping down to support flag bearers. I have trust in him as he has done before. I believe he is going to fulfill his pledge and promise.
The just concluded presidential and parliamentary elections saw the NRM reclaim most constituencies in Buganda compared to the 2021 elections, where the ruling party NRM lost in Buganda. The Faith of the Unity Believers, led by Owobusobozi Bisaka, have celebrated NRM win in both presidential, parliamentary and local council elections. Akugiziwe Bisaka, who led Thanksgiving prayers at Chenzige, Bukwenda, thanked voters for choosing President Yoweri Museveni and NRM flag bearers, highlighting the achievement of the NRM government such as peace, wealth creation, democracy and constitutionalism.
Owobusobozi Bisaka, who confirmed 442 children, asked the young generation to be patriotic and promote peace and unity, and denounce sectarian tendencies based on tribe, religion and ethnicity. Kagadi Resident District Commissioner Karoka Saija thanked the electorate for electing President Museveni and all NRM flag bearers, urging them to protect the gains registered by the NRM government.
Many people of Kagadi are all here to celebrate and thank God for what he has done. One for celebrating for the president and the flag bearers. So I want to really thank the people of Kagadi for overwhelming support, supporting the president and the flag bearers and keeping peace.
Masiataho, the Kagadi returning officer, clarified that both presidential and parliamentary elections plus local council 5 polls were free and fair.
The campaign period was really peaceful. We did not record major issues as in violence. Largely, we had a peaceful campaign in the district.
Over 50 million was collected during the Thanksgiving ceremony. Andrew Musenguzi compiled this report for UBC.
After being elected as the woman member of parliament for Kiruhura, Ruth Rujochi Boshabe has started giving back to the people in her constituency. She has stepped up efforts to improve the welfare of her people, especially sports enthusiasts, by donating 2 million shillings to support the Kiruhura Legends FC.
Neil Mushabe, the money is meant to support the team so that it can register and buy jerseys that will help them improve their appearance and readiness.
It's not a one-off. If it was last year, people would have thought we were doing it for the sake of campaigning. No, it was not about campaigns. Otherwise, the campaigns are over and she won. But we intend to do this year, the next year, and there's so many years ahead.
So, and through our support, I want to thank you that you have performed well and won a bronze medal among the 36 teams that you do participate in.
Mushabe said they want the team to lead and excel in all the corporate leagues within the area.
They approached us last year for support, and we supported them with jersey and some money for registration.
In addition, the Member of Parliament-elect expressed hope that she'll continue helping their people to access jobs in vocational skills and other livelihood opportunities of their interest.
Candidates, our duly elected Member of Parliament, Honorable Ruth Rujochi Boshabe, she's a member of NRM and she intends to fulfill the NRM manifesto in its entirety. But she's got a number, she has a focus of 4 major pillars. One is to do with household incomes. 2, youth empowerment through sports, skilling, and education. Then, of course, health and safe and clean water for both human and our animals.
The CEO and manager of Kiruhura Legends FC appreciated the kind gesture from Mrs. Rujoki and promised that his club will do better than last season.
She also accepted to continue supporting us, and we are here to receive the support for this season or this year.
We have transport fares, we usually have welfare, we usually have food, and that is welfare, we usually have refreshments, we have kits, so everything is sponsored by Ruth Rujochi.
The Corporate League football tournament in Kiruhura district is scheduled to kick off on 8 February 2026. Mike Bakablindi compiled this report.
That was in Kiruhura district. In Kampala, the Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago has conceded defeat to Ronald Balimwezo following the 2026 Lord Mayor election results. While addressing journalists at his home in Wakaliga Rubaga division, Lukwago described the electoral process as mad, but says he nevertheless accepts the outcome. He also thanked the people of Kampala for trusting him to represent their interests at City Hall for the past 15 years. Take a look.
Erias Lukwago has served as Kampala's Lord Mayor since 2011 when he took over from Nasa Ntege Sevagala until this 2026 election, where he lost to the National Unity Platform candidate Ronald Balimwezo by 99,305 votes. Saturday, Lukwago officially conceded and expressed gratitude to the people of Kampala for the opportunity to serve them.
I owe a great debt of gratitude to the people of Kampala who accorded me a golden opportunity I treasure so much.
Mr. Lukwago described his tenure as one marked by a tremendously immaculate record, integrity, and a principled resolve to serve the people of Kampala.
I will sign out of the Lord Mayor's parlor with a great sense of pride and elation. I cannot be accused of betrayal of the people's trust, betrayal of the people's mandate. One thing that I will treasure throughout my life, I've worked with the people's mandate. I've not betrayed even a single day, single minute, a single second, the people of Kampala who entrusted me with their mandate, with the stewardship of the city.
Lukwago, who also described himself as a man of grit, resilience and consistency, highlighted some of his achievements at City Hall, which he attributes to perseverance in the face of adversity.
Lukwago is a man of his word. He's one person you can trust. All and sundry will agree. I have exuded that charisma for governance. When it comes to accountability, rule of law, I have performed with distinction. Friends and foes will agree across board that on that point, Lukwago has delivered with a distinction.
While acknowledging the election outcome, Lukwago says his dedication to providing policy guidance and promoting equitable transformation for Kampala cannot be denied even by his opponents, and this will remain his legacy.
It has been implemented or not, it's a different matter because we have always explained that our agenda has not been adequately funded by the regime. But all the policy instruments you want to transform this capital city into a functional metropolis, all those instruments are there. I have worked on them. I have pretended over the processes to have them in place. To the detriment of my career, to the detriment of my life, and to the detriment of my position at State Hall.
Going forward, the soon-to-be former Lord Mayor says he will dedicate his life to fighting for justice and social transformation in the country.
So many political prisoners across board. And for me, color, political symbols do not matter when it comes to the fight for social justice. So I am going to commit my resources, my efforts to fight for social justice across board, regardless of our political differences and affiliations. So whether you belong to which political party.
The Office of the Lord Mayor is responsible for developing strategies and programs for the development of the capital city, monitoring the administration, and providing guidance to the division administrations, among other roles. These responsibilities will now be assumed by Ronald Nsobuga Balimwezo, the Lord Mayor-elect, once sworn in. Pauline Ongayet for UBC.
Thank you so much for that report. Now, various leaders who were declared winners in Kampala as Lord Councillors have stormed city streets in joyful celebrations, thanking voters for entrusting them with their votes. The new Lord Councillor for Kampala Central on the NRM ticket, Kalyango Shafiq, credits President Museveni's ghetto structure initiative, saying it helped nurture leaders in slum areas. During his interactions with the residents in the city, Kalyango pledged to deal with poor drainage system, healthcare, and issues that affect traders, among others.
Nzize wano okwebaza buli munnakampala yenna eyampadde omukisa okufuuka omukulembeze wa Kampala naddala Kampala Central. Neneebaza nnyo abaana ba ghetto. Ebbanga ddene tubadde tubonaabona nnyo naddala abannakampala, abantu abawangalira mu ghetto, abantu abavuzi ba takisi, ab'obutale, aba boodabooda, naye ng'abantu abali mu bifo by'obukulembeze tebategeera bizibu bantu bye bayitamu. Naye nze gwe mulonze ekiseera kino nze nakulira ku street, nakulira wano naddala bulamu bwange obusinga mpangaalidde mu kibuga, era nga buli kizibu kya munnakibuga nkikola ki?
Yebaza General Bamulya, yebaza President w'eggwanga okuleeta pulogulaamu ya ghetto structure. Wadde mulamu munene okuteeka abaana ba ghetto essuubi basobola okuva mu myala bakulembera eggwanga.
Essira gy'emyala oba oli awo tugenda ne tunula mu bukeesi akagugu be kamwokya ng'emyala gifuuse emyala gizibikira, oba oli awo abantu ne babonaabona, abantu ne bafa, bintu by'abantu ne bigenda. Era Idi ngenda tuula naye mukakase munnyonnyole tulabe ng'ekibuga Kampala kitereera.
Twebaza nnyo omukulembeze w'eggwanga Yoweri Kaguta Museveni eyatulowoozaako ffe ng'abaana ba wansi abaghetto structure, n'asalawo n'agamba naffe tubeerewo n'obukulembeze obwaffe ng'abantu ba wansi abawangaaliramu. Kalyango Shafiq
From a war-torn countryside to the heart of state power, from a small guerrilla force in the forests of Luwero to a movement that has steered Uganda for 4 decades, tonight we trace a journey that reshaped a nation, the national resistance movement's evolution from revolution to governance and from the battlefield to the boardroom. This is not just a story of power gained, but of responsibility assumed, of peace pursued, institutions built, and a future still being negotiated. Henry Okrut has a detailed report.
From the dense thickets of the Luwero Triangle to the corridors of state power, from a guerrilla force fighting for change and freedom to a political movement shaping the destiny of a nation.
The national resistance movement is a democratic movement. It's a movement which is fighting for democracy.
This is the story of transformation under the national resistance movement.
There is a material basis also for corruption.
There is a saying that history remembers how movements begin, and the future will judge how they endure. In the early 1980s, Uganda was a country in turmoil. Years of political instability, economic collapse, and state violence had eroded public trust. Out of this uncertainty emerged a small, determined force, the National Resistance Army, guided by a political vision that would later become the National Resistance Movement.
We thank NRM under President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for learning from the mistakes of the past without making a repeat of the same mistakes.
The Luwero Triangle, which was both a battlefield and birthplace, became a testing ground for ideas that would later define governance in Uganda.
So although the 27 armed people were a small number, they represented a huge force of potential soldiers. And we knew that with the correct tactics could enable the 27 to mobilize the millions who were on our side but were not properly organized.
In January 1986, the NRA marched into Kampala, but victory on the battlefield marked only the beginning of a far more complex struggle governing a wounded nation.
In Africa, we have seen so much change that change has become meaningless. It's no longer change, but merely turmoil. This group getting rid of that group and that group doing worse than the group it got rid of. Now, please, I do not count us in that category of people.
The new government pledged a fundamental change, prioritizing peace, unity, and reconstruction. One of the NRM's defining legacies would be peace building. Through dialogue, amnesty, and regional cooperation, Uganda began to silence the guns, not just within its borders, but beyond them.
We, for instance, achieved resurrected the East African community. We've influenced COMESA. We've influenced the politics in the neighborhood. We fought for the liberation of the African peoples, black peoples in the South Sudan. We've, by example, shown other liberation movements and other struggling peoples in the world, or on the continent and in the world.
From the Lord's Resistance Army conflict in the north to regional peace engagements, the NRM framed security as a foundation for development.
And you may also have seen a photograph at State House where President Museveni met Konyi's son and other close relatives like Otim. So as far as government is concerned, the conflict ended, and we are now actively in the process of bringing everybody back, and we are in the final stages now, and we're also actively supporting the development and transformation of the war-affected areas.
The movement system sought to unify a fragmented society, suspending multi-party competition in favor of inclusivity and consensus. In 2005, Uganda returned to multi-party democracy, with the NRM transitioning from a broad-based movement into a competitive political party. The guerrilla movement had entered the boardroom. Governance now meant policies, budgets, institutions, and accountability. Under the NRM stewardship, Uganda invested in infrastructure, regional trade, and value addition, redefining the state's role in economic transformation.
Patriotism as a core principle of NRM is based on the fact that the British put ethnic groups together in a country called Uganda, and for Uganda to be a nation state, to be a motherland of everybody, then patriotism as a core principle must be preached, must be instilled.
As Uganda's population grows younger, the future of the NRM depends not on its past victories, but on its ability to renew itself. The party speaks of strengthening institutions, respecting constitutionalism, and preparing future generations for leadership.
What they know, we know. What we know, they don't. We also wanted quick worth. We didn't get it. So they should forget. There is no quick worth other than stealing. And when you steal, you go to jail.
From the bush to the boardroom, and from revolution to responsibility. The NRM's story is inseparable from Uganda's own, a journey still unfolding. Henry Okrut, UBC.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, is rolling out the mandatory motor vehicle inspection services as one of the interventions to improve road safety, protect the environment, and safeguard the health and well-being of the public. The key items for inspection are the braking system, suspension system, the lighting system, the exhaust emissions, and the general mechanical conditions of the vehicles, among others. The exercise has commenced for all government vehicles, public service vehicles PSVs operating on fixed routes with route charts, private omnibuses PMOs, tourist vehicles, and those as may be referred by the Uganda Police Force in a dangerous mechanical condition. Other categories including private vehicles, light omnibuses, taxis, trucks and motorcycles will begin on a date to be communicated by the Minister of Works and Transport. The vehicle inspection centers are Kawanda on Bombo Road and Namamve on Jinja Road for motorcycles, light and heavy vehicles, Nabingo on Masaka Road and Namulanda on Entebbe Road for motorcycles and light vehicles. Mbale, Gulu and Bara inspection centers are for all categories of vehicles. The inspection fees have been significantly reduced to ensure compliance. Get your vehicles ready for inspection. Safer vehicles, safer road users, safer journeys. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching UBC News Tonight with me, Moureen Babirye, and Mohamed Mogalu in sign language. Now, local government public servants from several districts have undergone a one-day training aimed at strengthening their capacity in natural capital accounting and climate-sensitive budgeting. The training brought together researchers from Makerere University College of Business and Management Sciences and officials from districts including Bukoma Nsimbi, Liantonde, Masaka, Kalangala, Kalungu, Luengo, Sembabule, Chotera, and Rakai. Stakeholders emphasized the importance of budgeting for natural resources for sustainable management of environmental assets as a critical tool for effective service delivery and long-term development.
Letter addressed to the Minister for Water and Environment, Sam Cheptori's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni directed the cancellation of all titles issued in Chitubulu Central Forest Reserve. Museveni noted that Chitubulu Central Forest Reserve is a vital remnant of the lowland forests surrounding Lake Victoria, filtering pollutants and silt that endanger Lake Victoria Basin. In his letter, the President asserts that established in 2004, the National Forest Authority is mandated to protect forests, a role the body seems to have failed to do. Between 2004 and 2025, the country lost a total of 1.1 million hectares of natural cover under its watch. This prompted him to direct the cancellation of all titles issued in Chitubulu Forest Reserve and ensure that cutting of trees stops immediately.
People who had acquired the titles had not started using the forest. But people who had been licensed by NFA, those are the big companies that you could have heard about. Those were the ones that were planning
to start constructing and establishing what they call cities, malls, and all that. So there has been some kind of confusion, even I believe, when they were taking this report to the president. But good enough, in his wisdom and some area leaders, he let alone had to reverse all that and cancel out all the licenses and the titles. That was a very good move.
Now, cutting it down to say that you're going to put a hotel is honestly misguided. But I have also heard them talk about an eco-lodge. Why do you need to give somebody 150 acres to do an eco-lodge?
Environmental activists, conservationists, educationists, and political leaders underscore the president's role in the conservation of natural resources. Julius Luemba, a conservationist, together with Chibuko Francis, an educationist, are advocating for the demolition of the building and structures on Chituburu land to enable the planting of more trees.
Those who are around encroached on the same forest reserve, who have constructed buildings and other structures there, be restrained, and we request the president to issue another directive order to have those structures demolished, so that we can plant more trees and expand.
This was one of the wisest decisions he made, because he had to rescind his first decision, because he had okayed earlier, going by the improper or wrong information that had been given to him. He also acknowledged it, but I had okayed this, but I was misinformed, you understand? And it was okay. I mean, it takes a lot of maturity to understand that and to rescind your earlier decision. So we really allowed the president and all the area leaders who fought this forest.
They, however, urge President Museveni to arrest and sack all government officials involved in such dubious deals to deter future occurrences of the same. Over the past years, Entebbe municipality leadership led by Fabrice Rulinda have been spot on in as far as fighting fraudulent issuance of titles to encroachers in Chituburu. They have launched another campaign to restore the forest reserve by planting more trees and sensitizing the public about the role of the forest to the community, which in turn has yielded positive fruits. Story compiled by Sula Kagugube for UBC News.
Apologies, our dear viewer, but that was conservationists, educationists, and political leaders in Entebbe municipality lauding President Museveni for directing the cancellation of titles issued in Chitubulu Central Forest Reserve to enable ecosystem conservation. Now, just to take you back on matters climate change, local government, public servants from several districts have undergone a one-day training aimed at strengthening their capacity in natural capital accounting and climate-sensitive budgeting. The training brought together researchers from Makerere University College of Business and Management Sciences and officials from districts including Bukoma Nsimbi, Liantonde, Masaka, Kalangala, Kalungu, Luengo, Sembabule, Chotera, and Rakai. Stakeholders emphasized the importance of budgeting for natural resources for sustainable management of environmental assets as a critical tool for effective service delivery and long-term development.
But it's a time, I don't know whether many of us were young at that time, when they wanted to give away Mabira Forest, for example, to sugarcane growing. People in Kampala were up in arms. But these people don't, some of them actually didn't know that Mabira exists. They didn't know where Mabira is. But they just happen to know that Mabira is there, our children must find it there. So come up with a small questionnaire and go and ask people their willingness to pay. How much are you willing to pay for this? How much are you willing to be compensated so that we take that? And then we analyze. This training is supported by Makerere University Research and Innovation Fund, what we call MACARIF. And the training responds to the urgent challenge that we are facing. Our country is richly endowed with natural assets. Some of us have said you are from Kalangala, you can imagine the assets there, forests, wetlands, lakes, rangelands, and biodiversity, where most of our people derive their livelihoods. But also we hope with nice trainings and understanding how to use these resources, they can easily support our local governments in terms of generating revenues. The key issue that we are facing is that we don't know the value of these natural resources. If someone asked you, as the planner say Masaka, what is the value of Luera? What is the value of Luera? You may not tell us. Now, not knowing the value of a resource makes it hard to protect it. So knowing value, what is not valuable cannot be protected.
They have trained us on environmental evaluation, how to attach value on the natural resources we have, because anything without any value, it can't be protected.
At the end of identification, classifying and weighting, we expect you to get the quantum of resources in monetary terms that has been spent or allocated to climate change aspects.
In other news, government has been asked to expedite the fulfillment of its part of the pledge to facilitate the establishment of the Kampiringisa fertilizer factory. Itracom Fertilizers Uganda Limited country representative Jean-Luc Bigirimana says, whereas there is commendable progress as regards to electricity connectivity, government is yet to extend water supply to the site, asking responsible authorities to effect the pledge. Jean-Luc Bigirimana remarked this as he inspected both the Irish and maize, beans and peas demonstration farms in Kampiringisa. Both demonstration farms are part of the ongoing efforts aimed at increasing fertilizer use across the country to boost agricultural produce.
A new and efficient governance approach has elevated the Ugandan charity Fountain of Peace to host a global portfolio of the NGO's operations here in Uganda. Signed here in Kampala Saturday morning, the international partners say that this move will greatly expand the operations of the organization in supplementing government efforts on education, among others.
Because it sets a foundation and it sets the future going forward, and it's a privilege for me as chair to come over to Uganda to actually sign this document. We've been working on this document for 3 years, and it just brings everything together. It's a formality, yes, but it's for the future of FOP going forward, and that's the very important point here.
Susan Dodd, the board chair of Fountain of Peace UK, says that the operations in Uganda, in which hundreds of orphans are being cared for and educated, is vital for the key development goals. This will cover the United Kingdom and New Zealand, a move seen as a major vote of confidence in the structures within Uganda.
The super work Fountain of Peace is, I mean, it just touched my heart in 2015, and I'm just privileged to be part of it. And you know, the vision that Peace had originally, I mean, just tremendous. I mean, we've got 93 children now, and it's great to see them grow.
According to Peace Ruharuza, the founder of Fountain of Peace International, the organization will accelerate its invasion of key global development goals such as on water sanitation, food security and health, to which the Ugandan government is a signatory.
So really, Fountain of Peace is making a difference in the lives of children and also mothers. So mothers can't survive, take care of their own children, because we don't take pride in raising them. We would be more grateful if a mother would survive, take care of her children, and we just go reach out to those who fall through the cracks.
Issues of child rights, including access to shelter, health, education and food, continue to draw tremendous interest from across all spheres of the world.
Coming together with our partners, we are able to broaden our impact. We are able to bring the dream of Fountain of Peace to pass. One of the things we are doing is to ensure that when a child goes through the system, they will have a proper education. Not just learning English and studying mathematics, but also being able to be skilled.
The charity is domiciled in the areas of Miranga, Katoke and Charuzozi, among others in Chenjojo and Kabarole district. Vincent Wamundu compiled this report for UBC.
We still apologize, our dear viewer. That was children with disabilities in the remote villages of Kumi district who were expressing their concerns about immense challenges that they face, which extend far beyond their physical limitations. Now we'll take you back to the fertilizer factory where government has been asked to expedite the fulfillment of its part of the pledge to facilitate the establishment of the Kampiringisa fertilizer factory. Have a look.
Last year, government entered an agreement with Intracom Company to locally produce fertilizers as a catalyst to increasing the use of fertilizers among Ugandans and subsequently boost agriculture produce for both food security and economic growth. As a strategy, Intracom Company set up a demonstration farm in Kampiringisa to establish the suitability of its fertilizers on Ugandan soils. On these 130 acres of land, Intracom is carrying out seed production for Irish potatoes, maize, beans and peas.
We are trying to see how we can manufacture fertilizers from cow dung. So you know cow dung has all the nutrients.
2 months on, the demonstration farm is promising. Plants are all grown and soon they will be harvested for plowing back to enable multiplication of seeds.
This variety is 3 months and a half, because now if you see after here the other varieties, you have like around 10 days. We are going to chop off the vegetation. Then we, like in 10 days, we are chopping off the vegetation. Then we leave for around 15 days, them to grow, then we harvest.
For Irish potatoes, the initial seeds are in 6 varieties of Kirundo, Victoria, Ninamagara, Shange, and Mabondo. Musa Majid Majan is a farm manager, Intracom Fertilizer Uganda, SMC Limited. Musa explains that whereas fertilizer use is contributing a bigger portion of the success, without a proper and reliable irrigation system, efforts would go to waste.
Because we started this thing in dry season. It was November. So we started and we had no irrigation.
However, not all is merry. Some of the crops have died out after they were affected by bacterial wilt, a soil-borne disease. The farm manager says they have had to uproot crops on this piece of land as a way of preventing the spread of the wilt.
The other first variety up there is called the Chirondo. We have discovered that here it doesn't work very well. Like, let me say, we have soil-borne diseases like the bacteria, because if you see the other space, it is almost the spaces are there. It doesn't mean that we didn't plant there. We planted, but just we removed them. They are being affected by the bacteria wilt.
Intracom plans to spread wings and set up regional demonstration farms, shift some of these varieties to soils-borne disease-free places like Kapchora, Kabale and Gulu, among others.
We are going to proceed with these demonstration farms in different regions. Eastern, Central, as we have done in Central, Northern, Western Nile, and Western Uganda.
Meanwhile, construction works under first phase of establishment of the factory are underway. The country representative, Intracom Fertilizers Uganda, SMC Limited, Jean-Luc Bigirimana, says the government is yet to fulfill its part of the pledge of extending both water and electricity supply to the site to enable them move to the second phase of the construction of the factory.
On the preparation of the site, I think you can see here where we have reached. We have managed now to finish to level where we are going to set the factory. I think you have seen that's where we have reached so far.
Uganda's fertilizer use is alarmingly low, with an average of only 2.6 kilograms per hectare of arable land, far below the recommended 50 kilograms per hectare. Story compiled by Docas Kimono, Sebira Andrew, UBC News.
Welcome home to entertainment, to Wi-Fi everywhere, to high-speed internet, to security, to first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN WakaNet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/WakaNet. Welcome home. Together, we are unstoppable.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful Kids Water Park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Welcome back from the break. Now, renowned British author and environmentalist Stanley Johnson, who is the father to former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, is currently touring Uganda. We have a report.
His visit was initiated by the Uganda High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Her Excellency Nimisha Madivani, and appreciated by President Yoweri Museveni, who extended him an invitation to attend the NRM Liberation Day celebrations.
First of all, I have to thank His Excellency President Museveni, the government and the people of Uganda. You know how we have, with all of you, garnished our wonderful country back to a country that's a safe investment and tourism destination. We're preserving the environment. We're growing the number of gorillas in the country. We're world renowned. You see CNN, you know, all Uganda's impenetrable forest at the Bwindi. So I think these are great achievements, and I think the world needs to say Uganda is on is renaissance. It's a rebirth of a nation back, you know, and it's a country where everybody's welcome. There's a complete melting pot of international. You can go and eat Indian food, you can go and eat Italian food, you want to eat ugali, you can go and have ugali, you want matoke, you want to have, everything, you know, whatever you want, Chinese and so on. So it shows that Uganda has really gone. So what do we do at the High Commission? Of course, for us, we invite everybody to come to Uganda.
His first stop has been Rubaga Cathedral, Gaddafi Mosque in Old Kampala, and Buganda Road Art and Crafts Market. At Lubaga Cathedral, he was taken on a guided tour within the church and learnt of the history and norms within the Catholic establishment. He was later taken to the newly opened Mutesa I Catholic Memorial Museum that is an embodiment of the history of the Catholic Church in Uganda and its relation with Buganda Kingdom. The tour continued to Gaddafi Mosque that can hold 25,000 Muslims in prayer and was told about the history of Islam in Uganda.
So I would like to recite for you a few verses and then I tell you what they mean. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most merciful, the beneficent. Iqra, read. Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. In the name of your Lord, who created all that exists.
Up the tower at the Gaddafi Mosque, Stanley Johnson saw firsthand the 7 hills on which Kampala, the Ugandan capital, sat, that have now grown to 23. Stanley Johnson's visit is a continuation of an earlier tour of Uganda and highlights his passion for the environment.
I remember once getting on a small boat and going across from Entebbe to Gamba Island, to looking at the chimpanzees there, as well as seeing the chimpanzees in Kibale. What has changed? Well, I'd say that there's a real sense of vigor and dynamism in this country, and maybe there's more than there was last time I was here. I have a sense that you're on a little bit of an economic uplift at the moment. Well, of course, as an environmentalist, I want to be sure that that uplift doesn't translate into more damage to the environment, but that's for the future.
During his stay, he will explore various places including the Baha'i Temple, the Kawaka's Palace, Meta Golf Club Lugazi, Ginger Sailing Club, and Mount Gahiga Lodge.
And on the wildlife front, of course, for me, I've been tremendously lucky. I've known Praveen Moman, who has come from this part of the world. His family were here for years and years and years. 25 years ago, he set up Volcano Safari. I'm coming as the guest of Volcanoes, and we'll be going on also, I think, to Queen Elizabeth Park. We will be going to Ginger as well. And there, I think, we're going to see the great enterprises of the Madhvani family, and of course, a place where they've lived, well, really for decades.
He will also go trekking gorillas and chimps, visit Kapeka Industries, but importantly attend the NRM Liberation Day celebrations at Kororo on Monday.
I had a personal invitation from the President, from President Museveni. That is so wonderful. And how could you not come when you get an invitation from the President? I think it's only because I'm Boris's father. But still, you know, we sail in the slipstream of famous men.
Stanley Johnson's visit underscores Uganda's growing reputation as a premier destination for ecotourism and sustainable development.
I will be particularly pleased to see the chimpanzees in Kibale, the gorillas in Maginga. I've seen them before. To see them again, you can see them as often as you possibly can, and always want to see them again. So that's for me, and I'll see more than that, but we'll be on the river as well, we'll be on the mountains. This is a wonderful country, not just for the people, but for the wildlife as well.
His visit is enabled by the Uganda High Commission UK, Uganda Tourism Board, Volcanoes, Ginger Sailing Club, Meta Group, Fairway Hotel, and Uganda Airlines.
Thank you so much. And now that brings us to the end of our very first edition of UBC News Tonight at 8 p.m. My name is Moureen Babirye with my colleague Mohamed Mogalu on Sign Language. See you at 10 p.m.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
NRM Liberation Day is celebrated every year on 26th January. It marks the historic day in 1986 when the National Resistance Movement NRA-NRM, led by Yoweri Museveni, seized power after a 5-year guerrilla war, overthrowing the previous government. The day is a significant milestone in Uganda's modern history, commemorating the country's journey towards stability and self-determination. On Monday, 26 January 2026,